Well, good morning, everyone. It is Friday the 13th, but don't let that date scare you. We are here with you, the Go Morning Show team. I'm Danielle Wiggins with Jasmine Monroe, Austin Love, Maureen Kyle, and Dave Chudowski. Holly is doing weather for WTAM, and we have a lot to talk about today. I mean, we're moving into the weekend, and today is actually World Kindness Day. It's a day for globally we can show each other kindness. And I tell you, we need that in this time. And then we're also going to preview the Browns game this weekend because after they were off for that bye week, Dave has a lot to let us know what we should be looking for as we move into Sunday. But first, let's start with some kindness. And again, you can always chime in, let us know who you are, give us your name, where you're watching from. I am keeping track on my phone. So when you see me look away, I'm not being rude to my colleagues here, but I am checking in with you guys. So whatever you want to chime in on, go ahead and we will get you in the conversation as well. Just put your perspective in the comments section. But Jasmine, we start with World Kindness Day, and you learned some kindness from some kids.
Yes. So throughout this week, we've all got a chance to cover a segment called United We Stand. Danielle, you focused on two churches. I think Austin focused on technology between the older generation and the younger generation. And mine was pretty much bringing awareness to the fact of how much hate is going on in the world and who that truly affects. So, of course, we're stuck in our own ways as we are the older generation. But the kids watch everything you do. So mine was focusing on a daycare who pretty much brought attention to just coming together. They're called the Smarty Pants Learning Center. It's in downtown Cleveland. And it's just a daycare that, of course, I'm pretty sure all daycares teach it. I hope all daycares are teaching this. A teacher created some curriculum for students to come together and paint. They read a book called Kindness, and it was just one student reading the book to the classroom. In their classroom there, it's a multicultural classroom, so it's everyone from different backgrounds. And what I learned in the story, I was reading today's parent.com, they were just telling you how to have those tough conversations with your kids because it's uncomfortable. And when you have those conversations with your kids, they're asking you questions like, why does she look like this? Why does she talk like that? Where does she come from? And these are questions that put parents, I'm not a parent, so you guys can speak on that. But I know that my sister, she is actually biracial. So we were in two different households. My sister's dad is Italian. And of course, our family is African-American. So Christmases were different. Thanksgivings were different for us. And things that I had no idea, people did, I learned, and my sister learned. My sister had to learn how to go back and forth to different houses. And that's just something that my mom just made us well-rounded kids. You have to have these conversations with your kids, or your kids are going to grow up thinking the world is one way and it's really not. So
I appreciate that, Jasmine. Jamie, Chris, I apologize. I'm not pronouncing your last name correctly, but she's watching from Sandusky. So Jamie, if you could put a pronouncer in there, I'll give you a shout out. And then Charmaine, she's Charmaine Stamper Cotton or Cotton. She's watching from Columbia Station. Good morning to you all. Thanks for joining us. And Maureen, you said something during the show today about just what Jasmine said about, kids start asking questions, and it's not like they're trying to be mean. Like, well, why is her skin darker than mine, or hers lighter? Or why is his hair different?
Yeah, and they're observing. I mean, I think every parent knows that they're just going, wait a second. And they come to an age where they start to realize, even in my household, I mean, mine are still pretty little. My middle has blonde hair, the other two don't. And she talks about it all the time of like, why do I have blonde hair and they don't? I mean, yeah, she thinks that she thinks she's different. But, and so they don't, it's little things that they start to notice these differences. And as long as we can explain it in a way where we're telling them, hey, people have different skin tones. I mean, even my daughter's one is just, she's never going to have a tan. And the other one, it got more of the Italian skin. And so I start there on that smaller scale. And then we do have, we have a biracial cousin. And I'd say, Uncle Marcus is darker than Aunt Meg, and Miriam is a different color than, but I always reiterate, that doesn't make them any different. They're still our family. We love them. And we want, that the world is beautiful because we have all sorts of different colors in the world, just like our crayon box. And I don't know, I never want to explain things the wrong way, but I think kids are forgiving. And as long as we're opening them up to the fact that people's everything is shaped differently, different colors. I have freckles. One of my kids doesn't, it's just, we talk about that kind of stuff all the time. Something else though, that I did with them, especially my oldest, who is just, as oldest are, more sensitive. Mm-hmm. We really had to talk to her about
what's wrong with me.
Yes.
I think I'm more sensitive than my brother, and I'm the baby of the family.
Are you? Okay. Well, I mean, most people I talk to is like, oh yeah, the oldest is sensitive. The second one's more go with the flow.
You guys agree with that on Facebook? Let us know.
Yeah, I don't know if that's always true, but I was even talking to a mom's that we had a Girl Scout event last night, and we were talking about the oldest versus the second or third child. But I would ask, especially Scarlett, every day, so did you do something kind today? Not like, what did you do in math? What did you do in school? Who did you play with? I asked her those, but I started to ask, did you do anything kind today? Did you do anything kind today? And at first she'd look at me and go, no. But then because I kept asking her, she started to answer. I said, did you do anything kind today? She said, yes, I shared my crayons with so-and-so. I remember her starting to answer. And then one day we got into a car after I picked her up, and she goes, Mom, you didn't ask me that question. Mm-hmm. And I said, what do you mean? And she said, you didn't ask me about kindness today. And so she started to use it as a daily, like she got so used to it being a daily routine, right, that she'd remember during the day, like, oh, I have to do something kind because my mom's going to ask me about that. And it was just a little thing that really made a difference. And the feedback I always get with her from teachers, et cetera, is that she's very kind to her other students.
Speaking of doing something kind, Charmaine says, or I want to call you Charmaine, but I believe it's Charmaine. So let me know, Charmaine, if I'm getting this correctly. But she said for her world kindness, she is collecting socks for the homeless. Sock it to me. I have collected almost 3,000 pairs since July and delivered socks to shelters in 5 Ohio counties. Great, Charmaine. We thank you for that. And so, Austin, we're going to ask you, what kind thing did you do today?
Today, I've been up for like 4 hours. I haven't been out of my apartment.
Were you nice to someone? Did you send a message to your girlfriend?
Were you nice today?
I haven't texted my girlfriend yet. So, no, I actually need to step it up a little bit on World Kindness Day. I haven't done anything nice today.
I
already know. I did something kind yesterday, but it's for today. I bought my dad some beer. I'm going to see my dad today. So so that's probably the nicest thing I'm going to do in weeks, because I think that's the best thing you could possibly do for someone.
Austin,
it was good. And also, but this is also a charity beer, $1 of each beer. I bought 2 growlers. That's like 15 beers. That's $15. That goes right to the American Cancer Society. It's one of the beers that we're brewing with Market Garden and Fatheads. Go buy some. It goes right to the American Cancer Society. So
okay, Austin.
There you go. Just raising money, saving lives, the whole deal. So that's the nicest thing that I've done. So it's great. So happy World Kindness Day, guys. Drink up.
That's why we love you, Austin.
21 and older, please.
Yes, he gets 2 points. But speaking of points,
right.
Hopefully the world is kind to us this Sunday and allows the Browns to score more points than the Texans. So, Dave, what should we be looking forward to? We got 2 more minutes left in this post show.
Well, the Browns are back, Danielle, after their bye week, and they take on the Houston Texans. And the Texans aren't good. They're 2-6, but I think they're better than their record. The Browns are only favored by 3 points, and usually a home team always gets 3 points in Vegas just for being home. If they're considered a better team, you would think they'd be favored by more, and we've seen them favored by more this year. So I think it could be a trap game, But if they get Nick Chubb back, and it's trending in that direction, although they haven't officially made that call yet, we'll find out today, I think, on that. We'll see. He has practiced all week, but they've really missed Nick Chubb in that running game. It's going to depend on how the trainers feel he has made it through the week, and then they'll make that decision today. I think the key to this game is Baker Mayfield. I really do. Do we get the good Baker? Do we get the bad Baker? I think if we get the good, they're going to win this game. Obviously I don't have Odell Beckham Jr. Jarvis Landry, he's really played hurt all year, so that bye week should help him. He hasn't scored a touchdown, so I look for him to have a big game. Austin Hooper, the tight end, is back. I think he could make a factor in this one. I do not think the defense will at all. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. But the bottom line is, if you want to make the playoffs, you have to win a game like this. So it's going to be good to have the Browns back. One guy to look out for, Houston, their running back, Duke Johnson. He's probably going to get a lot of playing time. Could be a revenge game for him, former Browns running back. So we'll end on that, or we'll end on this. For me, on this day, my kind gesture will be to not make fun of Austin during this session.
I'm usually the one making fun of you, Dave. So that's very nice. That's great. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Dave, also maybe like a little.
You guys stay calm, Austin.
Yeah. Well, Wyatt Teller, I think, is going to be returning for the Browns too. And what I saw a stat yesterday that they're averaging like almost 3 yards per carry when Wyatt Teller is on the line. So that's maybe like a low key. I mean, that's a great addition as well to have them back too.
Good,
so getting that
great
ground game
analysis
going.
There, Austin.
Thanks. Appreciate that, Dave.
He is one of the best offensive linemen in the league. You are right about that. So it'll be good to have him back.
And I learned that the next time I bet someone, if they're home in Vegas, they say 3 points. Like, Dave, thank you. I didn't know that.
All right.
Be better there,
typically, if the team is better, they'll. I was trying to explain this to Danielle a couple weeks ago, the whole Vegas thing and odds. So we don't have time for that right now, but yes.
I'm trying to be kind and not interrupt you guys because Dave and Mo, you got to go do the Today Show.
Oh,
so thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. We'll see you Monday at 4:30 a.m. where we hopefully will be celebrating a Victory Monday. Have a great weekend, everyone. Stay lucky on this Friday the 13th.
Go Browns.